Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here. I'm starting a new project here on the channel, and this is going to be a monthly roundup of Star Trek news and events and products that'll be coming up, as well as a few other things. You may have noticed, some of you, that the last 2 Thursdays in a row I've had a new video go up. I don't normally have a regular upload day for this channel, and it's something that I'd really like to keep consistent with. So now that I'm officially announcing it, sure enough, I'll probably fall off the wagon, but I'm going to count on you guys to keep me honest here. I'm hoping to have a new video every Thursday, and these will be kind of planned videos. So for example, I have this monthly Star Trek Roundup that I'm starting right now. I don't know quite what to call it yet. I can't just call it the Star Trek Show. So maybe if you guys have ideas for what to call it, please let me know in the comments. I might use some of your suggestions because right now I'm not sure myself. So I have that. I have the regular book reviews, which I will be doing one per month of the new releases. I still have enough new releases to take me through the end of the year. And then we've got new pocketbooks novels coming at the beginning of next year, so I should be able to keep that up. And then besides that, I also have Trek lore. Last week's episode was all about Morn. If you haven't checked that out, you should. I kind of like that episode. I think I did a pretty good job on it, but I'll leave that for you guys to decide. And then another thing I'd like to bring back is the episode reviews, which I haven't done in some time because of various legal reasons, using clips and stuff from the episodes. CBS doesn't really like that, so I'm going to have to find a new way to do those, but I would like to keep up doing reviews of the various Star Trek episodes. So I was doing them in alphabetical order, and I'm only a little ways into the A's, so obviously I still have a long ways to go, but I'd like to start those up again. But first, like I said, this week will be my first episode of my new kind of Star Trek Roundup monthly news show. I'm looking to make it something like the Star Wars show that Lucasfilm officially does for Star Wars, with some major differences, of course. This will be Star Trek A. B, I'm not at all affiliated with any of the providers of official Star Trek content like CBS or Paramount. And also another key difference is I will likely never ever be nominated for an Emmy. But something like that with news, reviews, upcoming products, and maybe some special features with, you know, whatever it is that I figure out that I'm going to do with this thing. So first off, let's begin with a summary of the big news stories from the past month or so. So first up is probably the biggest news in the Star Trek universe for quite a while, and that was the announcement that a new Star Trek television series starring Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard was announced at the Star Trek Las Vegas convention early this month. We don't know much about the series as yet. There are no scripts reportedly, but there has been work done in the writer's room as reported by Michael Chabon on his Twitter account. Michael Chabon tweeted this galactic map drawn by Kirsten Beyer, who is working in the writer's room of the new Picard series, and it was also apparently her who came up with the idea to do a Picard show. In the post on Instagram, Chabon revealed the sketch of the Star Trek galaxy, saying, "Supreme guardian of all Trek canon and beloved colleague Kirsten Beyer dropped some cosmological science on the Untitled Picard Project writer's room today. Yes, I am having so much fun." I really can't wait to see what they're coming up with here. There's no real new information in this graphic. It represents the galaxy as we know it, roughly at the end of Nemesis, Voyager, that era. Details that are called out appear to be the neutral zone between Federation and Romulan space, Klingon space, we've got the Bajoran wormhole with Cardassia and Bajor connecting to the Dominion in the Gamma Quadrant, and Borg space in the Delta Quadrant. The other big news this past month was the casting of Star Trek Discovery's Spock, and we learned that the actor playing him is Ethan Peck, grandson of famed actor Gregory Peck. He's 32 years old, lives in Los Angeles, and he will be taking on the role of Michael Burnham's foster brother and son of Sarek and Amanda. Peck's most prominent roles to date have been on the 10 Things I Hate About You television series, as well as roles on Madam Secretary and Gossip Girl. He certainly looks the part, and I can't wait to see him in the role. Continuing with Discovery news, we also learned this past month that Star Trek Discovery Season 1 will be available on Blu-ray and DVD coming out in November. There will also be a steelbook release, as well as different release dates for various countries around the world. So first of all, in the US and Canada, it will be available on November 13th, and it will also be available as a steelbook release in Best Buy in the US. Fans of Discovery in the UK and Scandinavia will have to wait until November 19th to get their hands on the series. If you're a fan of Star Trek novels like myself, you got some welcome news this month as well. Star Trek books will be back from Pocket Books starting in 2019. In January, we get the Star Trek Discovery novel The Way to the Stars by Una McCormack. This will be a novel centering around the character of Tilly. They skip a month, and in March we will get a Star Trek The Original Series novel by Greg Cox called The Antares Maelstrom. You might remember that as the area of space name-dropped by Khan in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. And in April we get a Star Trek The Next Generation novel, Available Light, continuing the post-Nemesis continuity, following up on David Mack's Section 31 Control, as well as story elements from the A Time To series. I have back cover blurbs and links to pre-order those on my website. I'll have a link to that in the description below as well. For those of you patiently waiting on the Deep Space Nine documentary from Ira Steven Behr, we got some news that there is an additional fundraiser underway for it. Behr plans to update more footage from Deep Space Nine to high definition for the project. At present, there are approximately 5 minutes of footage that have been upgraded to HD, and with this additional fundraiser, they're hoping to upgrade 15 additional minutes of HD footage for the documentary. I'll have a link to where you can contribute to that if you like. They named a couple more perks if you choose to donate for this second push. And finally, the Star Trek franchise as a whole is to be honored by the Television Academy with the 2018 Governor's Award. The award will be handed out this weekend at the Creative Arts Emmy Awards, Saturday, September 8th. The 2 Emmy Awards that Star Trek Discovery is nominated for will also be announced at the Creative Arts Emmy Awards ceremony. Star Trek Discovery was nominated for Outstanding Prosthetic Makeup and Outstanding Sound Editing for a Comedy or Drama. And in September, we have some upcoming productions that you might be interested in. First is the Star Trek Discovery official companion from Titan Books. That was released this past Tuesday, September 4th, as was Star Trek Discovery The Light of Kahless Omnibus from IDW. This is a collection of the Light of Kahless comic book series. We also have Star Trek Shipyard, Starfleet Ships 2151 to 2293 by Ben Robinson. That's from Eagle Moss, and that is due out on September 25th. I'll have links to all 3 of those in the description below if you're interested in picking those up. We also have 2 comics coming out this month. Issue number 3 of Star Trek The Next Generation, Terra Incognita from IDW, as well as issue 1 of Star Trek vs. Transformers. Finally, we're still waiting for news about the Short Trek series, the companion series to Star Trek Discovery, featuring 4 shorter stories in a 10 to 15 minute format. Reportedly, there would be 4 of them coming out monthly before Star Trek Discovery premieres. If we're to assume that Discovery is premiering in January, which we don't know for sure, they just said early 2019, but if we're to assume that, then one would assume that the first one would be coming out sometime in September, with the other 3 to follow in October, November, and December. Still no word on that yet, but as soon as that information is available, I'll bring it to you in a breaking news segment. So next I'd like to share with you, when I get a new Star Trek product or something really interesting that I think you guys might think is really cool. And so with that in mind, I'm going to show you guys something that I recently got, a 2018 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. Without further ado, let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've got a bit of an unboxing here. This is something that I don't usually get. This is an SDCC convention exclusive, which is a bit of a misnomer because I was able to order it. I think an exclusive should be, you can only get it at the convention, but anyway, here we go. I have opened the main box already, but I haven't opened the product yet. So let's get that out here. Now this is from Gentle Giant. 2018 SDCC convention exclusive, a Saru mini bust. Saru from Star Trek Discovery. So let's open her up and see what we've got. So first of all, got the limited edition certificate of authenticity here, number 352 of 500. That's kind of cool. So there we go. Try and get less glare. Number 352 of 500. Okay. Put that off to one side. Okay. And it's kind of neat. I'm going to turn the light down a little bit. So kind of molded into the styrofoam there. Star Trek Gentle Giant Limited. That's kind of cool. Let's open her up. Okay. And there we go. Okay, so first off, it's got quite a bit of heft to it. This is it's not a light piece. Very well constructed. Apparently they are all individually hand painted, and man, the detail on there is really incredible. And again, on the bottom we've got, again, number 352 of 500 convention exclusive. I'm gonna get right in there. Okay, so yeah, there we go. The detail on this is just exquisite. A little tiny Starfleet deltas that make up the uniform. Very nice sturdy base. Really, really gorgeous detail. I gotta imagine if you're Doug Jones, that's gotta be weird to have this sort of collectible. Wow, yeah, no, I'm really pleased with this. This is going to have a really special place on my Discovery shelf, I think. Yeah. No, it just really is a beautiful piece. So yeah, anyone else have this? I'd love to hear from you and what you think of it. Like I say, I don't usually get this sort of thing, but I couldn't resist this one. So yeah, this one's really, really cool. I really do love it. Very, very pleased with it. Awesome. And there we go. On the bookshelf this month, I did a number of reviews over at my Star Trek website at www.treklit.com. You can find reviews of Star Trek Preserver by William Shatner, Star Trek number 81, Mud in Your Eye by Jerry Olshan, Star Trek Sarek by A.C. Crispin, Star Trek Voyager number 15, Echoes by Dean Wesley Smith, Christine Catherine Rush, and Nina Kiriki Hoffman, and my most recent review, Deep Space Nine number 27, A Stitch in Time by the man who plays Garrick himself, Andrew J. Robinson. I also did one video review earlier this month, and that's for Star Trek Discovery Drastic Measures by Dayton Ward. Over on the Literary Treks podcast, we also did a few episodes. Literary Treks 238, Don't Be Afraid to Ask for Help. That was on the novel A Time to Harvest by Dayton Ward and Kevin Dillmore. Number 239, Big Box o' Pips. That was on Voyager Homecoming by Christy Golden. 240, It Rings a Bit Hollow, the follow-up to Homecoming, The Farther Shore, also by Christy Golden. And 241, the Bromance episode, A Time to Love by Robert Greenberger. You'll find links to all of those in the description below. So we've got the month of September ahead of us. Here are some notable dates in the Star Trek universe from September. On September 1st, 2008, Star Trek The Experience closed its doors. I was really fortunate enough to visit The Experience in that year, just a month and a half before it closed, and I'm really glad I did. It was a really unique Star Trek themed ride and exhibit. It just is something that hasn't been matched since, and I hope all of you got the chance to go to The Experience while it was open, and if you didn't, I really hope something like it comes up again because it was really, really amazing. Big date on September 7th, 1966, Star Trek premiered with the episode The Man Trap. September 8th, 1973, Star Trek the Animated Series premiered with the episode Beyond the Farthest Star. On September 24th, 2017, Star Trek Discovery premiered with the Vulcan Hello. On September 26th, 2001, Enterprise premiered with the pilot episode Broken Bow. And on September 28th, 1987, Star Trek The Next Generation premiered with Encounter at Farpoint. On September 2nd, Rosanna de Soto celebrates her birthday, best known as Chancellor Azetbur in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. September 3rd was Merritt Buttrick's birthday. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 29. On September 5th, Star Trek artist Andrew Probert, possibly best known as the designer of the Enterprise D, it's his birthday. September 6th has two birthdays. First, Patty Yasutake, Alyssa Ogawa from Star Trek The Next Generation, and Idris Elba, Balthazar Edison / Krall in Star Trek Beyond. September 9th, 1954 was the birthday of Jeffrey Combs, known for many roles, possibly best known as Brunt, Wayun, and Shran. On September 11th, Roxanne Dawson celebrates her birthday. Roxanne is, of course, best known as B'Elanna Torres on Star Trek Voyager and director of a number of episodes. On September 14th, Walter Koenig, Pavel Chekhov, celebrates his birthday. September 15th is the birthday of Tom Hardy, who played Shinzon in Star Trek Nemesis. September 16th, we celebrate the birthday of Jane Brooke, Admiral Cornwell from Star Trek Discovery. September 23rd sees Rosalind Chow's birthday. Rosalind played Keiko O'Brien on Star Trek The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine. And finally, September 27th is the birthday of Roger C. Carmel, the originator of the Harry Mudd role. He passed away at the age of 54. And finally, I'd like to close out the episode each month with a slight update of the display behind me. Each Star Trek series is represented by a shelf on the display. I have TOS, TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, and Discovery. Each month I'll update a new section of the display, so today I'm going to change out the TOS shelf. Okay, so here's the shelf as it currently stands. I've got William Shatner as Captain Kirk, refit Enterprise, and a Klingon battlecruiser. So, sorry, Bill. Gonna say goodbye to you here. All right. So I've got this photo op that I took with Leonard Nimoy a number of years ago at the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo. I'm going to use that as kind of the main picture going in here. Got this little Gorn mini from Hallmark that was a convention exclusive this year. And the TOS XL USS Enterprise 1701 from Eagle Moss, as well as the Eagle Moss Shuttlecraft Galileo to go along with that. Now, this won't be the final arrangement. As you can see, there's a few issues with line of sight and how things are arranged, so these are the components I'm going to be using in the display, but this will not be their final configuration. All right, and with that fixed, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully this new monthly format for videos like this works out well. If you have any suggestions on how to make these better, please let me know. Parts you liked, parts you didn't like, I really want to hear from you. Leave me a comment below. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks especially to the Patreon supporters. Your guys help make these videos possible. I really couldn't do it without you. And thank you everyone else for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Share this video with someone you think might enjoy it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until next time, as always, live long and prosper.